What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review, and today is actually the first VOD review of Set 14 that's not just me rewatching one of my own games that I thought was cool. This is going to be a grea VOD review, and this lobby is actually, it's almost what you would call an in-house, which is, a little bit hilarious because, obviously we're a few days into PvE. A lot of these players are really just trying to learn the units and honestly just playing to have fun. They're not really hard prepping for anything like that. There's no crazy tournaments incoming right now. But if you look on the right there, a lot of these people don't have their real names, but that's Soju in the lobby, Milk is in the lobby. If that could be Canbiz, or that could be someone else who named themselves Canbiz to troll, but if it's Canbiz, that's crazy. That's Phoenix there as well. So a pretty sick lobby. I don't know who some of the other players are, the Duckbill player or the other player, but it's honestly a stacked lobby. So it'll be fun seeing these players playing around what they think are really, really strong lines, and especially this game Phoenix plays around a really, really cool line that I want to yap about a lot. Yeah, it's one, honestly, that it might be flying under the radar a little bit right now. Obviously, we're on PB, and so I do have to give you guys the caveat that, if there's a comp right now that seems quote unquote broken, it is probably not going to be broken the day that lives come out. But it's also not impossible that it will be broken when live comes out. These things do happen where there's a strong comp on PBE and it just gets a little bit nerfed along the way. And also, these items that we end up building for this unit, these will always be BIS on this unit. I guess I always try, because I know people used to be like, I like when you kind of wait to reveal the comp, but it's in the thumbnail. We're playing Twisted Fate Reroll this game, and I don't know actually if grea knows that he's playing Twisted Fate Reroll at this point. I know we have a Darius 2 and a Gwynsu's Rage Blade, and I guess just for people who aren't, super locked in on the set, let me pull over just the description for TF for you guys here. Shout outs, by the way, to op.gg for having a really, really nice, clean website for all the Set 14 info. I'll have you can use this if you want for Set 14. They also have a really nice overlay and all that other stuff. It's all in the link down below if you're interested. But so Twisted Fate, the interesting thing about TF is that he has this passive, gain 2 AP each attack, and then he has a really cool active, throw a card at the current target and next nearest target, dealing some magic damage. And so that's simple enough. But he also has the Kingpin bonus. If you guys haven't played around Kingpin yet, the idea is if you have Kingpin, and yeah, honestly, I just wanted to zoom in even more so it's even easier to see. There you go. If you have Kingpin in, you get a little hat, you put it on a unit, and it upgrades their ability. So, Kingpin bonus for TF. There's a random special card at the current target that deals a bit more, a lot bit more magic damage, and then throw all 3 special cards at nearby enemies. So, you get different special cards. You roll a card each time, just like, TF in Real League. So red card is kind of AoE, blue card does 50% of its damage, true damage, and then yellow card actually grants gold, kind of similar to, if you remember, Bard in set 10 could, get the, he could, blow his horn and end up getting some gold out of it. So a really cool unit. Not only can he farm you some gold, but he also has this cool card mechanic, and he has this attack speed scaling mechanic. So you can see we started the game off with a Gwynsu's Rage Blade, and that's what we are going with here. We are playing around Gwynsu's, obviously. Twisted Fate BIS, and we do pick up the TF here. Probably, yeah, just going to come in now. He's a rapid fire unit. I don't know if TF, without Syndicate, I doubt that TF1 is stronger than Kog'Maw 2, but if we can get Syndicate in, then we are off to the races. But yeah, you're always going to want at least one Gwynsu on TF. In my opinion, the BIS is Gwynsu Gunblade for a few reasons. One, he just has really, really good attack speed scaling. The fact that he gets extra AP means you don't really need to build anything on him that gives him AP, because you're just going to get it from attack speed. And then the other thing, the Gunblade, is because you want to play for longer fights. He's a scaling unit, right? Every single time he attacks, every single time he casts, if he's casting after he's autoed 20 times, that cast is way more influential than a cast where he's only autoed a few times. So you can see we pick up a rod here because this is one of those comps. If you guys remember Bard of the past, one of those ones where you want double bow, triple rod. So it's a little tough to get to the right items, but hey, if you can get there, you are really, really happy. So I do think this is probably in grea's mind already the line that, we are going to team planner it out. So yeah, this is already the line that we want to play. It's interesting. I wasn't sure exactly what BIS on this board is, as far as not items, but what the strongest board is to play for this setup, what you would normally be rolling for. I played some weird kind of board where I rolled for Skarner as well, which felt fine, but not amazing. Obviously you're playing 3 Syndicate, but grea actually wants to play for 5 Syndicate here. You do get a pretty big bonus. Just, I mean, getting another hat that you can put onto another unit is not bad at all. And then, yeah, just fit the Gragas, fit the Zeri, and just kind of call it a day. And then you also have Kane that you can fit in, who is Vanguard on your board and who is also another Divinicore. So you can kind of fit some Divinicore units and also just, you know, have the units that matter on your board. So it makes sense. It makes sense as a board setup to play around. And really, we're just hoping to pick up our Syndicate here, because I think the second we pick up Syndicate, we'll be excited to move items over to TF, but we'll see here. This is also, this lobby ends up being a little bit crazy. We can yap about it, but this is actually kind of not that good for us that we get an orb that has these kind of unstable components, I think they're called, because we don't actually, we kind of have the ability to handpick our items, so we don't really need unstable components. But I mean, it's fine at the end of the day. We pick up our Gwinsus here. We're looking for that Gunblade, but we don't actually get it. So we do have double Gwinsus here. We're kind of holding on to this rod here. We can make Syndicate +1 and allow us to Syndicate. And actually, yeah, we opt to just Syndicate the Darius here, just with the idea that he's a Darius 2, he actually does a lot of work. His bonus extends his ability, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, and I mean, Darius 2 with the Sunfire, I think you're pretty happy with that. But yeah, I mean, win streaking with this board with some upgrades, and really just next level, we want to level up and hopefully find 5 Syndicate. Item-wise here, I mean, item collector actually sounds fine. Ooh, I'm so pleased that they brought this augment back. Preparation. I want to take, I want this so bad. Like, this augment was so fun to play around when it was a thing. I think they do have it at Golden Priz as well, so I'm really, really hyped to play around some preparation here. Yeah, this augment, by the way, it's kind of a crazy call here, but we go Dummify, which is insane to me in some ways, because we already have the entire board. We have to now refind all of our units here, but it does have one like very, very big upside, and you know, we are going to actually end up losing our 5 streak here. So, well, unless, I don't know, unless maybe we don't. We even slammed the redemption here to just try to save the 5 streak. I mean, we have a Gwinsu Shiv with a big dummy. I wonder if we can win this fight. Yeah, I think we're actually chilling. The dummy's just too thick here. So yeah, I mean, actually so nice to end up picking this. Well, maybe I shouldn't talk. Fight's really close. Okay. Yep, I should not talk. That fight was way too close for comfort, but okay. Ends up being a win. Like I said, that fight went exactly as I predicted it would. So yeah, I mean, you can be happy about that. But the Dummify, to go back to the point, makes a lot of sense in this comp, because once again, TF is a scaling unit. You want to play for long fights with him. Gwinsu obviously needs time to ramp up, and Dummify, I mean, look how big our dummy is. We had a 2-star Darius that we Dummified, so that's a ton of HP going into this dummy here. So I think it makes a lot of sense, and the fact that we didn't even drop our win streak to get the Dummify is, I mean, borderline crazy. That's actually like insane that we didn't drop it there. But yeah, going into carousel here, we made the redemption as well, which is really, really nice slam in this spot, because it's going to help our dummy last longer. And I mean, the hope is just to pick up Gunblade here, and we do end up getting it, which is really, really nice. So yeah, and the other nice thing is that we have this, I mean, right now we have a Nico on the board. I'm not really sure why it's Nico. And I mean, we can certainly just play like this guy over. Yeah, we can do something like this. I think this is fine. Not really sure. Yeah, he's keeping the Nico in. I'm not really sure, because that's a conscious decision to keep Nico in. We're also using the Divinicore bonus onto, or not the Divinicore for, I don't know. I mean, I guess it was on the mind. We're using the Syndicate bonus onto Nico, which is not bad. Let me see if I can actually pull up the actual bonus. Let me see. Because it's like, it's HP and attack speed, I believe. I had it the other day. Yeah, Kingpin bonus, 30% attack speed, and gain 30% max shield at combat start, right? So yeah, I'm kind of surprised that we want to go for that over just King. I guess we don't have much else to Kingpin here, but I mean, still surprised that it ends up, you know, like that we're not playing Vanguard on this board. I mean, I guess we're just playing Nico for the Nico unit, because the idea is, I mean, are we really going to get that much value out of playing like Vanguard on this board? It's actually, okay, the more that I think about it, the more that I like it. Nico's ability has chill, right? Yeah, it has chill. The third pop chills enemies. So the idea is that like, getting Vanguard in is really not going to make our board that much tankier, but having Nico in our board is going to actually make our board a good bit tankier, because she actually has utility. That's actually a pretty smart idea from Grea, though. Now that we have a 2-star on the Braum here, I feel like we kind of have to just go for the Vanguard on this board, but we'll see. Roll down here, we pick up the Misfortune. Really just at this point need to pick up TF2, because we're still not TF2 yet, by the way. This was basically a hard force. We are going to put stuff onto the Gragas here. We're going to give him the hat. We're going to pick up another MF. We don't pick up TF2 here, which is a little bit tragic, but we can move these items over. Craft. a frontline item. We're actually just going to finish off Shojin onto this Fortune, though we did get snipered out here by, wow, that is a very early Rengar 3 from Milk here. And I guess I will say, this is a smart, I don't know how much Milk pre-planned this, but it ends up actually going perfectly for Milk here. Milk took double Econ Augment, double Silver Econ Augment here. So he took the training, the one that gives you the duplicators, and then Raked Shop. And so this allowed him to hit a 3-star 3 cost prior to 4-2. And best case scenario for Milk, we get this split augment choice here. And what this means is that Milk's odds of actually hitting Recombop at 4-2 here are really, really high. I mean, you can see we have Recombop here because it was Silver 2-1, it was Silver 3-2, and now we have this option for double Silver here. So it could be an idea when you have, you know, double Silver augment to just say, well, if 4-2 is hacked, and if it's this gold double Silver hack, like, I don't know, like branching paths what the odds of that are, but you end up in a spot where you're really, really likely to hit Recombop here. So yeah, and we'll see. We get this Rolling for Days Band of Thieves take, which I think is just way too juicy to pass up here. So I think you can just pick that up. But I mean, we're looking at Milk there, and you can see that he was benching some of his units. Yep, and can we get a scout in here? I mean, probably should make our items here. We opt to throw the second hat onto MF here, which I wasn't sure about initially, but I think the more that I thought about it, the more it makes sense. I mean, we're in a situation where we are playing around this giant dummy, right? So who really needs to, like, we don't really need to put our syndicate bonus on a frontliner. We just need as much damage as possible here. But you can see Scout Milk here, and he has 2 2-star 4 costs that he found with the Recombobulator. I mean, it's gross, but it's a very nice strat to just say, we're double Silver augment here. My odds, like, if I hit that hack, I win the game. And if I don't, then, you know, he was just playing Executioners, and like Executioners is not bad by any means. So it kind of all works out. The other thing that works out pretty nicely, but for Grea here, is that we actually found a lot of TFs. Remember, we were 1 TF in the middle of stage 3, but now we're already 7. We picked up this Rolling for Days, which has accelerated us a lot, and that just double TF shop ended up doing a lot for us. But yeah, Milk's spot is just pretty unreasonably good, I would say, and he is probably just going to coast to winning for the lobby. I don't really see how our board's going to outcap that. I would have auto-reviewed Milk, but I mean, the line's not that interesting. It's just kind of like free win for him in this spot, and 2, he wasn't streaming because like this Milk guy is not a streamer. He's like made millions of dollars on like crypto or something like that. Is that the story? So like he's just like, well, am I going to stream? Like, I don't have to. Like, I'll just chill here, which, I mean, you can respect it. You can respect it. But hit the TF3. We actually roll a bit with 8 TFs and end up finding this TF3, and the idea is just going to be that we're going to use this duplicator to find Darius 3, which, I mean, seems fine. It's just an extra like dummy on your board, basically. Like, he's not going to do all that much, especially because we're not going to syndicate him. So I don't know. I'm not that excited about Darius 3. I'd be more excited about like pushing levels, getting the other thing though is like, I don't actually know how you want to cap out this board when you're playing the Subversion. You know, obviously you can add more rapid fire, but in a while you can add more Divinicore. I think the very straightforward thing to do here is just add that Rast, like I talked about. You get Vanguard and an extra Divinicore into your board. So I mean, honestly, there's no question. That is just what you do. But yeah, the only upside is that Milk's frontline is hot garbage. It's just a bunch of random stuff. But I mean, yeah, a Xayah 3 and a Ziggs 3 will do that to your board. They'll do pretty good damage. And yeah, Milk is actually just, there's 2 people who are dead already, Soju and Phoenix. I mean, I don't know if they got, I mean, obviously Soju was not fighting. Actually, he could have fought Milk Clone there because there's an odd number of players. But I mean, the lobby HP is actually insane just because of how well Grea did in the early game and obviously how well Milk is going to do, you know, in the late game. But yeah, we pick up another Darius. So I think Grea just kind of realizes like, well, now that I have this Darius, I'm 1 off Darius 3. So I might as well just do this, make the dupe level here for the Ross that we picked up. Yep. And just finish making items. These items are a little funky. We end up making, I mean, obviously the IE onto MF is really good. I think these items are fantastic on MF. IE is almost necessary on her, and Shojin, I think, is almost necessary on her. Without Shojin, she is, I think, 150 mana. Is that correct? Yeah, she's 150 mana. She starts with 50, so only 100 mana to cast, but still, I mean, only 100 mana. 100 mana is still pretty high. So yeah, I feel like you do kind of just need this onto her. We do fit Dynamo onto this board, and that's the other nice addition. I love that little hold of the Morgana here with the idea that we can fit Dynamo in here. And we do also make a swap here that I think is kind of cool. Items over to Darius 3 instead of Braum 2, just because he should be slightly better than Braum at a, you know, a 2-star 3 cost, or a 3-star 2 cost. So easy to swap those in TFT. But yeah, we kill off sick duck, I'll call them. And I mean, it's just us, Milk, and Canvas here. I wonder, how far into the video are we? I wonder if there's an FF this game. We're only 15 minutes in, so if there's an FF, I'm gonna have to pad time by like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we'll see. But I mean, I could see somebody FFing. I guess the top three, we also have this Graves comp, which is really dominated. People are saying that Graves is like the most broken unit in the game. I mean, just, ooh, this fight was actually not, I mean, we obviously lost, and I mean, I don't think we're ever beating that, but it was honestly surprisingly close. But I guess what I was, oh, and yep, Canvas FF's there. Wait, they both FF, oh god, it is only a 15-minute video. Oh my god. I mean, a cool game from Grea, and I mean, I think it makes sense that they just decided to go next, because literally the game is over at that point. And you got to at least see some of the power of TF, especially once we get to TF3, just kind of clearing out boards with the MF as well. We kind of got robbed. This is kind of a hilarious game, but I mean, it's still, I'm gonna keep yapping so the video is at least like 16 minutes long, just because I don't want it to be like that short. But I mean, you can see in fights like this, TF is a monster. He's healing up the front line. He's doing a ton, like 9,000 damage in a relatively quick fight. This guy he's an absolute beast, and really fun to play around. When he hits that gold card and farms you some gold, like he's a beast. So let me go back to the final board here. If you want to write this down, put it in your team planners or something like that. Fits really nice where you can get 5 Syndicate in. Obviously, if we did not have the +1 here, we would just end up cutting Morgana and then just still playing 5 Syndicate seems like the idea. I'm actually curious, had we not hit the Dummify, if we would have looked at syndicating like a frontliner like Darius or Braum, but the world may never know. Maybe I can do another bot review down the line and figure that out. But yeah, all right, that's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch, everything else down below. I have been streaming more, so actually follow my Twitch if you're not following already. That is, you know, a good way to find my, and I'm doing more streaming. I'm not going to stream today. I'm going to go see, what's the movie called? It's called Coda movie. Yeah, wait. No, that's a really old movie. What am I thinking of? Showtimes. It's I figured it out. This is how I had Opus. Coda Opus. I'm going to see Opus. Okay, honestly, the stats on it don't look that good, but I love Aoa Debris. I love everything that she's been in, so I'm excited to see it. All right, so I'll tell you guys how it is in the next video. That's my through line I'm giving here. All right, I'll see you guys in the, if you watch this far into the video, I have an exclusive offer for you. All the other people who stopped watching here, they're not the real fans. If you're my real fan, I'm about to give out my phone number right now. The phone number is 32. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. It's not even close to that. What is 32 something area code? Can somebody let me know? All right, bye. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.